Ah, the music today feels so perfect for the night after a day after a gala. It just feels so refreshing. So, the song by Heather, it's called Flight of the Passion. Um, and I look at the beginning of her lyrics because I always like to, Kelly and I were talking about this last night. I love that music brings us somewhere, takes us somewhere. And I get such richness out of lyrics, which is why we choose songs. We choose songs here really because of the message, because of the lyrics. I am the flame of love's pure passion. I sense that the deepest problem most people are dealing with in their life is an identity crisis problem. You're all like, why? No, I do. I don't think too many people know how great they are, how really great they are. Not because of something they've done, not because of their accomplishments, not because people are telling them how great they are, but just the innate truth of who they are. I am the flame of love's pure passion. That's who I am. That's who you are. Blaze now, consuming the war within. How many of you have ever gone through your life or some portion of your life and feel like there's an internal war going on? Just raise your hand if you've ever felt that. What do you, I love you're all laughing like today. Well, what do you think that is? The only thing that a war within is that in you that knows who it is combating against all the things you're telling yourself that you are. That's what a war within is. Because if you actually operated from knowing the truth of who you are, you wouldn't have those types of feelings inside. You would just know the truth no matter what showed up in your life. You would just know the truth about it. So, diamond emerging from under the pressure. Anyone got any pressures they want to deal with today? No? Okay, good. Moving on. No, but the diamond emerging from the pressures in our life. You know, it's not about what happens in your life. Everybody has stuff happening to them in their lives. I will actually say everybody has stuff happening through them in their lives. It's not what happens to you that matters. Think about it. It's not what happens to you. It's your reaction to what happens to you that matters. Because your reaction is the chain reaction that's causing whatever's going on to take its next step. Have you ever been in a situation where your reaction is less than spiritual? Have you ever noticed, like if you and you've happened upon someone who maybe is also having a day whose reaction is less spiritual, like at the DMV perhaps, or anywhere such as that, and your reaction, your first reaction ignites their next reaction, and pretty soon, whatever you were talking about means nothing. You're just somewhere else down the line, and it all had to do with how did you react in that situation. Husbands and wives know this, yes? Husbands and husbands, wives and wives. Oh, she just said boyfriends and girlfriends. Just two people. We all get it, right? So, in the song, she talked about the dragon and the phoenix. Now, the dragon, I'm going to break it down a little more specifically. The dragon, which one is that? The dragon represents creativity and ambition. Now, how many people here would say to me that they are absolutely certain that they are ambitious in life? Who's ambitious? Jeffrey, your hand has to go up higher if you're really ambitious. This is not ambition. This is ambitious. Who's ambitious? Thank you. Okay, good. So who says they're not ambitious? What? You're not ambitious? You're becoming a minister. Okay. So the dragon inside of you is the creative self, your passionate creative self, and your ambitious self. And your ambition, by the way, ambition is not a four-letter word. Well, it's actually not a four-letter word. But just saying. But ambition is not something negative. We can turn it negative. We can turn anything negative. But ambition itself is your God self. There is something in you that consistently wants to do the next thing, that wants to create, wants to succeed, wants to change the world. There's something in you that is that energy, that passionate energy. And when it lives alongside the creativity that's able to take that passion and create something out of it, now you're in your dragon self. You are in your amazing dragon self. Have you ever been in that self and gone off the rails? I have. Sometimes in my past life, and it can still creep into when I'm directing a show, I can be so creative and so passionate that the actors want to kill me. I'm like, no, don't do that. Do this, move that over there. Get those lights out of there. I have a great story. I was directing a production of Cabaret in Connecticut, and it was this huge production. And just as Sally Bowles comes out to sing Maybe This Time, she's singing Maybe This Time, and the set, we were having a tech rehearsal, and all of a sudden the crew totally screwed up, and the cabaret itself and the Jewish family's home, all of it started to come in. I'm like, what the? And it's all colliding, and great, Donna. She just stood there singing, Maybe This Time. Meanwhile, the whole set's falling apart. I'll be lucky. Maybe this time he'll stay. And then she's like, get out of the way. Maybe this time for the first time. And she's singing. And my assistant, who was actually Stephen Schwartz's son, Scott Schwartz, Scott said, do you want to yell stop? Do you want to say stop? Do you want to say stop? I was like, no. I said, something about her singing Maybe This Time as the whole set is crumbling feels very German to me. And so I was like, I said, could everybody stop, please? I would like to make this happen every performance. To which the stage manager comes running downstage and goes, none of the stagehands want to be in the show. I said, do they want the job? I did. I was fierce. And she was like, well, I said, no, tell them. Any stagehand that doesn't want to be in the show when that set turns, I said, because I'm about to give them a directive, can leave and we'll find someone to replace them. Well, they all stayed. And I said, now what I want you to do is, just as she's hitting the big, it's gotta happen, wherever you are, stop. Remember this moment? Stop where you are and just let her finish the song, and I want all the stagehands to clap for her. It was such an amazing, I got the best review in the New York Times because I did that. It was just amazing to watch. Where was I going with this? I know, I'm kidding. I am a creative director. No, but sometimes it can go off the rails. And I'm sure many people thought at that moment that I had lost it. They were like, what? Not Donna, though. Donna was like, just give me the route to leave the stage between all of this, because she had to figure out how she turned and walked off stage. It was a brilliant moment. But we can let that go off the rails, right? That dragon side of us, where we can just get so intensely creative and passionate. You too? I just looked at the two looking at each other going, that's what's happening. It's our dragon self. But this song is about the dragon and the phoenix dancing together, because the phoenix represents warmth and wisdom. So there's that in you, even in the midst of all of this. And as I was thinking about this, I said, so how would I have done that differently? I would have gotten and said, could you all stop for a moment, please? I'm going to ask everyone a favor, to do me a favor. And stagehands, I know this is difficult for you, but I would really like you to do me a favor and just be in the moment and just allow yourselves to watch what's happening. You're not really being seen. We're all watching Sally. And then, would you all do that for me? And they probably would have had a very different reaction to me than saying, you want the job or not? That's the dragon with the phoenix somewhere in the background going, what are you doing? So how many of you can really pay attention, can really make sense out of the idea of your dragon and your phoenix dancing together as one thing? That's who we really are. When we really listen to who we are, we can accomplish anything in that fierce, amazing, creative, passionate way and still know who we are. I'm still working on it. I am the pain giving way to your pleasure. These lyrics are great, Heather. I am the dark giving birth to your flight. Maya Angelou said this, and it's in your program. My mission in life is not merely to survive, but to thrive, and to do so with passion. The title of my talk today is Fire in the Belly. The title of my talk today is Fire in the Belly. The title of my talk today is Fire in the Belly. Next month it'll be Decisiveness. Because I couldn't pick one of those 3 pictures. And Barbara's like, which one? Even like 10 minutes before meditation, she goes, which slide do you want? I went, oh, just load them all. Because they're all so great, right? Can you go backwards on that thing? So if you go backwards to the first one, this is last night. I mean, some of you have probably moved parts of your body last night that you're getting acquainted with again. I'm getting acquainted with something back here, which I think was the C of YMCA. Yeah. But it's passion. It's that passion inside that makes you all get out. I love what Joselito said. Get out and just be like children. Just childlike abandon, right? And this next one, this spiritual sense of all of the neurons and protons and cells in your body. Have you ever had that time, that moment? I had one last night in the middle of dancing where it was just like everything seemed to go this way. It seemed to just be bursting out of me. It was just and there were some of you who really had that happening. Yes, that was very fun to watch. And then this last one, which actually would have been the one I picked if I had to pick one, it's very Martha Graham, but that's coming out of her hand. That energy that just comes out of you, flying out of you, if you allow it to, I believe we can look like this. That we can. Did you ever watch? How many of you remember Seinfeld? Remember Elaine, the dance on Seinfeld? And she's out there, and she's just. That's in her mind, though. And the thing is, we have to be willing to look. Where are you, Eric? We have to be willing. Oh, he's with the teens. No, Eric, when you watch Eric Overholzer dance, I can say this because he's downstairs. When you watch him dance, when he really lets himself go, he's a little bit like Elaine, but a lot like Martha Graham. And there's just this thing that he does. And I said to him last night, I said, you just have to get out there and just show him what you got. He went, no. And then he did. But how many of us stop ourselves from living our passion because we're not sure we look good doing it? We're not sure people will like what we look like. We're not sure, right? Don't do that. You're too young. Yes. You have everything to give. Yes, especially. When are you singing that song? Next week. Someone said to Dell, what song are you singing? She said, only the hardest song ever written for any singer to sing. Yes. That's next week, and I wrote it, so she's going to sing it. So it's this thing about being willing to be authentic regardless of what it looks like. That's what Maya Angelou was talking about, all this. So fire in the belly. That's the thing that Ernest Holmes calls the divine process. Or if you're in Canada, the divine process. Right? So Ernest Holmes talks about the fire in the belly. It is always there. There is something, that fire can never go out. And it is passion. Passion is the divine energy of you, of each one of us individually. And he says there is a fire in your belly. You can try to douse it with everything you got. It will not go out. But are you willing to fan the flames of that passion? Yes! Everybody say yes.
Yes!
Now believe it.
Yes!
There you go. Nelson Mandela wrote this: there is no passion to be found in playing small, in settling for a life less than what you are capable of living. And Diane Brabant used the same quote for meditation. I was like, wow, this is great. There is no passion to be found in playing small. This week, someone asked me about the I am God thing. Actually, there's not a week that goes by that someone doesn't bring up the I am God thing. And it's been good because so many people are now starting to talk about it, really talk about it. Some very important scientists, some wonderful mystics, talking about we've missed the point. We keep looking for something. We keep trying to project something out there that is God, or up there that is God, and we don't realize it's us. It's all of us. When we talk about I am God here, it is not meant to be an ego trip. It is not meant to be, I am the allness of God, and you are? That's not it. That doesn't go over so well, right? Everyone makes up, everything makes up this amazing power, universal power of love, power of compassion, power of wisdom and knowing, light, all of it. Everyone makes that up. Everything makes that up. It is a universal oneness of this beautiful light and love, and all of that moves through each individual point. Every religion teaches that God is everywhere, all present. If God is everywhere, all present, in every point that God is, well then, the point right here that is Delaney Farrell, all that God is present. Not just a little part of it. She's not a little speck of dust in the dirt of life. That's a very different religion, right? No, she is the allness of the universe pouring itself through Delaney Farrell. And that's true for every single one of us. With that kind of passion pouring through us, how could we possibly think it's appropriate or even responsible to live life from anything less than the most amazing, passionate energy? That's the truth of who we are. And that's what you get to play with this month. You are capable of anything you put your mind to. So I wrote in your program, you're capable of putting anything you put your mind to. Every aspect of your life is a direct reflection of how you are using your mind. You are a passionate, creative, perfect expression of all the love in the universe. And then I wrote, that's a pretty great identity, wouldn't you say? That's your identity. Nothing else. That's your identity. Everything else is what you do with it. It's just what you do with it. Even your personality, that's just what you've done with the identity of who you are. And then I say, this month we get to live the passion of the truth of who you are. So our affirmation this month, and I was going to, when you said it, I wanted to explain it, and then I went, oh no, I'll explain it later. The affirmation is, my life is lived from the passion of I am. Barbara, I wrote it wrong once, and Barbara and she wrote it back and said, do you want the who or not? And I had to think, because my life is lived from the passion of who I am. That's not it. It's not about who I am. It's my life is lived from the passion of I am. I am is a complete sentence. I am. That's who I am. The I am that I am. I am that I am. Sam. Right. With green eggs and ham. Right, got it. Right. But I am living from the passion of that truth, the I am. That I am the presence of the universe. And that's a passionate place to live from, not to try to get to. That's the paradigm shift we're all making. I am not trying to get anywhere. My job is to remember who I am and come from it. That's a game changer, folks. That changes the way we live our lives. So in May, we get to ignite that fire in the belly, as Ernest Holmes tells us, into a soaring life of success, joy, and vibrancy. How many want that for this month? Yes. Why not, right? So my question is then, if that's what you want, what are you going to do differently? Because guess what? You can't get that and do the same old, same old. Because if you do the same old, you're going to have the same old experience of life. So what are you going to do differently? What do you want to do differently? I'm not here to tell you what. I have my own choices of what I want to do differently. My writing partner was in town last week. We're writing a new musical. And I spent 4 days sitting at a piano and a chair writing, and we got 3/4 of the whole musical written. And that rarely happens. And it just flew out of us. And the next night, we were having dinner on the last night he was there, and I said to the room, I said, I need to change my life around. And everybody in the room turned and went, what? I think they thought I was saying, I think I need to be done being a minister and move to Paris or something like that. I was like, no, I'm not saying that. I'm saying there are changes I can make in my life so I have more of that. If that is my passion, I need more of it, which means I have to schedule it into my day. How many of you find that your whole day can go by and you haven't done one thing, the one thing you might have wanted to do, because you got so busy doing all the things that you had to do? I have a husband, he can do those things. Totally kidding, because I want you to live your passion too, right after you clean the pool. So, you think I'm kidding. I am not kidding. So, how are you? I will never live that down. How are you going to ignite the fire in your belly? What are you going to do this month to ignite that fire in your belly? What changes can you make? What decisions can you make? What things can you hold yourself to, Lisa? Hold yourself to it. I have to point out Lisa because she came up with what she wanted to do to bring the fire in her belly out. And she wanted to start acting and do commercials, and she just went for it. And she just is soaring, doing what she wants to do in her life. Knew that there were things she didn't want to do, so those are done. You have that, those were done, and this is what I want to do. What needs to be on your that's done list? What needs to be, that no longer serves me, I no longer wish to do that. I am done with that because this is my passion. This is the month, and it's fearlessness, folks. You have to be willing to actually name it, claim it, and then live it. It's not enough to just walk around saying, I love when I do this. When's the last time you did it? Years. Why? It's just like, okay. I'm going to close with Yo-Yo Ma, who said, passion is one great force that unleashes creativity. Because if you are passionate about something, you're more willing to take risks. So, are you willing to take the risk and consciously awaken to the fire in your belly? Are you willing to risk letting go of what no longer serves you and picking up that flame that ignites the passion inside of you so that you can not only be who you are meant to be, but you can live from that identity? And then everything is possible. Anything is possible. And we have to get clear on that too, that it's all possible. If I am God, if I am the entire universe pouring through me, and so is everybody else on this planet, then I have an amazing planet and universe filled with playmates to bring anything we want into the reality of our lives. So there you go. This month, you get to play with this idea of passion. You get to play with the idea that whatever is yours to do, whatever you know is yours to do, and if you're going to say, but I don't know what's mine to do, that is not a good excuse. How many of you have ever used that one? I can name you. You've said it to me. Right? So, but I won't, of course. Well, no, I won't. But, so it's not that you don't know what, here's what you're thinking. You're thinking, I don't know what out there I'm passionate about. That's not the question. The question is, are you willing to tap into the passion that you are? Not what you do with it, but just let it grow and grow and grow. Know that that's who you are. Let it grow and grow. I guarantee when you do that, something will find you. Something will show up and you'll be like, I could have had a V8. And you'll be like, yes, this is where I want to pour my passion. So this month, pour your passion from with that which is within into whatever it is you want to do. And I guarantee you, by the time we hit June 1st, we are all going to look just like this. And even if you look like Elaine, you will be that in your mind. Namaste. Thank you. Woo. Thank you.